Good evening, everybody. My name is Patrick Garcia, and this past weekend I was invited to the retreat called Self-Care to Avoid Burnout by my mentor, Rosalind Henderson. Now, according to the speakers and the organizers, such as Rosalind, this retreat has been going on for about 3 years now, and they've done it once a year. And this past Saturday was my first time going. And to share a little bit of my experience with you guys, it's actually a very, how should I put this? It's a very immersive event. And when I say immersive, I mean that all the speakers really engage with you. And it's not just a seminar where you just sit down and take notes. It's very interactive. And I thought all the speakers did an amazing job showcasing their talents, showcasing their animation and their energy, and each one had their own specific style. So to go into a little bit of what I learned from the speakers, the first talk was about nutrition and health. So it was actually my first time discovering that when you eat vegetables, the colors actually do something different each time. So when you have a variety of colors in the vegetables and fruits you eat a lot of greens, and apples are red, and obviously oranges are orange. You get different vitamins and nutrients from each kinds of vegetable and fruits. And I didn't know that. I thought the colors were just for look, but in the long run, they have different kinds of benefits. So to continue sharing more about my testimony, the second speaker was actually my mentor, Rosalind Henderson. And what I learned from her is the power of a good no. And most of the times when we keep coping with whatever we're given, when we keep maintaining the status quo with stuff that we're unhappy with, stuff that we bottle up inside but we don't express, the more our baseline continues to be moved and continues to be pushed back. And when we learn the value of a powerful no, the more we're able to fully dig deep inside of ourselves and really discover how powerful we really are. So the less we use our no's, of course this you can use this to your discretion. The more we go along with everything else, the more we just continue to spread ourselves thin, the more that we actually put ourselves last. And while it's always good to try and be a good Samaritan, at the end of the day, we're human, and there's only so much that we can do. So for that, learn how to say no on occasion, and when the time calls for it. And it's a very powerful concept that she can actually tell you more about. That is what, if you actually decide to go to the retreat, which I highly recommend. The third speaker was about comedy. He did a little stand-up routine. He was great. A lot of it was just driving home the fact that we need to laugh at least 5 times a day. That's 5 times a day in order to maintain mental stability and to practice good mental health. And the last speaker was the son of my mentor, Rosalind. He's a very talented young man. He's a doctor, and he's just going to go far in life, and he's already is doing really well for himself, and such a powerful public speaker. They were all powerful public speakers, but for him, I thought the very powerful part was the question and answer part, because there was a lot of misconceptions that we have about the health industry, the organic industry, what's really organic. And when you purchase bottled water, is that really bottled or is it tap? There's so much research that needs to be done. And he's a very talented young individual, and I learned a lot. One of the things I learned from him is that the most simplest movements, when we move our bodies, can be counted as activity. So most of the times we get wrapped up in how many calories we burn, the intensity, but basic movements, everyday movements, even simple movements that can be repetitive at our office desk or your workplace can be considered exercise. So that was a very eye-opening moment for me. So all in all, would I recommend the self-care to avoid burnout retreat to other people, and I have to reaffirm that with a resounding yes. This was a wonderful retreat. It was at a beautiful hotel. Breakfast was provided. There's merchandise so you can learn more about other people and what they do and their trade skills, and all around it was just a solid event. So here's looking forward to the next retreat in 2018. So once again, my name was Patrick Garcia, and this was an outstanding event, and I hope to see you there again.